Roar! Recognize that?
Yes.
That's a woman roaring. How's everybody this morning?
Yay!
How lucky you are to be here with me on this International Women's Day. The whole Megillah just encapsulates itself right here, right now. Well, maybe we could have another laugh. A couple of fellows were walking in the woods, and a big grizzly bear appeared and did a roar. And so what are we going to do? And the guy says, we're going to run. He says, you know you can't outrun a grizzly bear. He says, no, but I can outrun you. This is very interesting for me to be here on this day with this subject because I go way back. I'm a legacy person about women's rights. And in the 60s, the non-discrimination bills came along, and part of the people mentioned were women. And I was working at Stanford Research Institute at the time, managing a computer center, and everybody wanted to be involved in the movement and what they were going to do because of my management status. And of course, at that time, the big thing was equality of pay. And I had been a manager, and I actually had 2 schedules of pay, one for women and one for men. Very, very bad. And when we went through the salaries there at Stanford, even though they were fine, one engineering woman had to have her salary doubled. That's how bad the difference was between men and women. I had a discussion about that time with a young intern that I had in my department. And he said, well, his philosophy was men should make more. They were the breadwinners. They were, the movers and the shakers and so forth. And women were working just because of hobbies and so forth. Well, I said, okay, let's take that philosophy a little further. Kenny over there has 8 children, and you don't have any. I said, how about I pay Kenny 3 or 4 times what I pay you? Didn't like that very much. Not at all. So there was a great scramble to recategorize jobs and pay and all that kind of thing and move on from there. I remember the first meeting that we had gathering together about what we were going to do to achieve this equality. And I was not that enthused, and somebody said to me, well, don't you want to be liberated? And I said, honey, I've never been enslaved. Personally, that was my venture. I hardly knew that men were discriminatory because if I found one standing in my way, I either went over him, went away from him, or put my arm around him and we walked together. I felt that, yes, we needed liberation, but not just women. Men needed it too. And of course, anything like that comes along, and we had to have sexual harassment laws came in at that time, and that every company had to have policies and procedures. I remember even at the church when we went apply for insurance, liability insurance, we had to present our sexual harassment program. So there's a lot underneath. I mean, this isn't something that just happened this last couple of years with the Me Too. This has started way back in the 60s. And of course, we had a lot of enlightenment about that time. We had went to different classes and sat around in a circle and said what we thought of each other. The current generation is standing on the shoulders of those that came before. as far as religious science was concerned, they were one of the first ones to ordain women in North America. That wasn't a popular thing. On some denominations, they still are not allowed to be ordained, but a lot of has been made. And as for the philosophy that we view, it was heavily attended by women. We have many, many women ministers. As you can see here when they bring up the practitioners. We have the balance of buzz there, which keeps us all equal. But it's been quite a trip on those kinds of things. So when they say they stand on the shoulders, and like the woman you talked about today, obscure, but the consciousness is unified. Whether I'm here speaking to this crowd or I'm speaking to 10,000 crowds, I'm the same. I'm interjecting into subconscious mind new ideas, better ideas. I'm recognizing what I'm doing, and I'm recognizing the result. Look at your own life right now in this moment, your own beliefs, and see how they outpicture. It was wonderful that she covertly decided to be equal with the lowest rather than equal with the highest. And even the fact that she's not well known is indicative of the thing we contribute. And she had great impact, which I'm sure that was her intent. Not needing reward, not needing notoriety, just to be who you are. Just to emanate that in all odds, whether it's Buzz in the waiting room with Lynn, he's relying on the truth of his own being in that knowing and contributing that energy to the healing. We all have that feminine side, that nurturing side, that creative side. Nothing can be created without an agreement between the male and female. The female, then there is the third leg of our triangle is the creation itself. And we pour our energies into divine life that we share. You are you, and be proud of it, be glad of it, and seek your own feminine side. One of the things in the movement was to remain feminine, because most of the time if you made inroads into management, you did it by behaving like men. And I determined when I worked in the management field that I would maintain who I am, what I choose to express, and work on that level. To honor yourself and to honor everyone by being who you are, being honest and truthful to them, and seeking to know the exact power of this Mother, Father, God. The divine feminine is fabulous when combined with the divine masculine, and creates everything we have, everything we do, everything we see. So men, I invite you to join us in a roar. Let's all do it. Roar!